Let's go over to the story next. Zimbabwean independent presidential candidate Saviour Kasukuwere has been granted an access to appeal by the Supreme Court in Zimbabwe. He wants to challenge the decision to block him from contesting the upcoming elections next month. ZANU-PF activists had approached the High Court to challenge the nomination of Kasukuwere, who is a former cabinet minister in Zimbabwe. The matter will be heard in court next week. For more on this, we are now joined by Saviour Kasukuwere. Good morning, Saviour, and thank you so much for making time for us. What do you make of this particular decision also, at least that the matter will be heard next week? But what does it do to your campaign?
Well, naturally, we're excited. To our campaign, it gives quite a lot of octane. It gives us a lot of energy because it has really made people aware and excited the nation that there is a challenge which is very serious, and Mnangagwa is running scared, and we're quite happy, excited about it, and our systems on the ground are going. We're campaigning, we are doing everything in our power that will make sure that we have a resounding victory.
Yeah. So what are you going to then place before the courts, considering the High Court judgment and the discussion that we had before around the Electoral Act, specifically looking at Section 33, and also the argument that was put forward that you had been out of the country for more than 80 months and therefore you are disqualified?
Well, naturally, the court misdirected itself, and we are challenging on a number of grounds. Number one, jurisdictional ground, that this was a matter that should have been held by or heard by the Electoral Court, not by the High Court per se. Secondly, that even the onus to prove that I've not been in the country cannot be reverse onus. This should have been proven by the...
Hi, Saviour, can you still hear us? Saviour, can you hear us? Let's see if we can re-establish that line there to Saviour Kasukuwere, who is an independent candidate in the elections that are set to take place in Zimbabwe on the 23rd of August this year. Let's try that line there again. Saviour, you were still explaining how the court had misdirected itself.
Yes, the court misdirected itself on a number of grounds. Obviously, number one, that this is a matter that should have been at the Electoral Court. In other words, the application was made to the wrong court. So it's kind of forum shopping. And secondly, the alleging a party had no sufficient evidence whatsoever to prove that they're not in Zimbabwe, and they can never be reversed onus on me to prove otherwise. Thirdly, this is a huge infringement of my constitutional rights and the rights of many Zimbabweans in the diaspora. To us, it's a case of one, forum shopping. Secondly, cowardice. They really know that once we are in the game, it's going to change our country. So this is just fear, nothing more than that. So the whole matter is to try and delay our campaign, but our campaign continues unabated across the country. We are talking to the people, and the people are aware of what's happening. And in fact, this whole charade has gone a long way to expose the fear in the system that they will be changed right at the top.
Yeah, so again, the court, remember, raised the issue around the consecutive 18 months that you have been out of the country, and the court again saying that it's quite easy to disapprove what is being argued there by the applicant in this matter by just providing your passport as well as the medical records that you were in South Africa, and the reason that you were in South Africa was because of a medical checkup.
Well, these are the matters that are in the courts. This is sub judice. I'll not comment on that for now because our main arguments are going to be framed around this very same matter you're raising.
Yeah. Okay. And then the other one is in the statement that you issued a bit earlier on, you say that Mnangagwa cannot choose who his competitors should be. Why do you think that they're targeting you? Why Saviour?
Well, he knows I'll defeat him. Mnangagwa, we work together, and I know that he's unpopular, he's unelectable, he has never been elected before in the country, and nobody will elect Mnangagwa. You look at his face in the ballot, will not vote for him, and he's aware of that. The past 5 years has been a total disaster for our country and for our people. And you know how he ascended to power. It's never been through a legitimate process. What we're trying to do is to restore legitimacy in our country. And this is what Mnangagwa is scared about. So he will go to every limited extent to try and block a legitimate process, a proper election that is free and fair. And when he looks at my candidature, which is the only one he's challenging, by the way, there are about 12. He doesn't care about the rest. He just cares about this one. And he knows. That's why I've said, Mnangagwa, don't run away from the ring. I need to work around you. We need to deal with each other and show him that he must rest. Mnangagwa now should really be going to rest. He has no plan. He can't even produce a manifesto. He has just got no ideas. I mean, it can't continue the way he's doing it. Looting and stealing, that is not the way the country must be run. So Mnangagwa must rest. It's time for him to go.
What do you mean that he wasn't elected? There were elections that took place in 2018. Are you saying that he stole those elections?
Yeah, but clearly, what numbers did he get? Whether it's 50.8, 50.4, nobody knows. And his party, ZANU-PF, did much better, 63. Why did he get 50% votes?
But he was elected the president, legitimately so, though.
I don't know. That's what I heard, because I'm not so sure whether actually he won, because knowing him, he doesn't win elections. He has no capacity of winning any election. He can't even win the election in a burial society.
He can't even win an election where?
In a burial society. If there's a burial society, Mnangagwa won't win. Mnangagwa is an electable character. He just can't win any election. When you ask people to make a choice, Mnangagwa will never be chosen. Unfortunately, that's what it is.
Yeah. Okay. And just the final one is the initial court case, the one that found that you should be disqualified from being on the nomination list. Another application that has been brought to the court is that the court order must stand and the Zimbabwean Electoral Commission must immediately remove your name from that list, even though there is this appeal. Are you going to challenge that?
Yes, we're challenging that, obviously, but that again, the matter is now being referred to a superior court, and we expect the superior court to take precedence. It would be very odd and awkward if the lower court were to interfere with proceedings that are now being attended to by the superior court. In any case, when a matter has been referred to superior court, it immediately suspends action by the lower court.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. That is Saviour Kasukuwere, one of the independent candidates in the Zimbabwean elections, which will be taking place on the 23rd of August. And of course, as you heard, there's some of the court challenges that have been brought now. And one of the successful ones was around him being disqualified from being on the nomination list of the presidential candidates who will be contesting the election. Saviour Kasukuwere.